Alright, and welcome Starcraft Nation. This is Venerati bringing you the second game of 3 between Abver as the purple Zerg and Dimaga as the red Zerg. So again, we're going to see some ZVZ action, which is, as you know, my favorite kind of action. And we're going to see that played out on Lost Temple today. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they choose to expand and what kind of unit composition we're going to see. As we saw in the first game, Abver did not bring any bainlings onto the field. And in ZVZ, that's pretty important, as I've seen in the past. Not that I'm an avid Zerg player or anything like that, but in the games I've seen, with that micromanagement that is so key, those banelings can cause so much damage against early Zerglings. So before you have a chance to bring roaches onto the field, which can soak up so much of that baneling damage, those Zerglings just die. It's just a little fodder squad running around waiting to be blown up. And we have them, of course, bringing out their overlords, trying to find out where the enemy is, and the drones actually creating almost a mirror image as far as scouting and timing goes right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if we do... Well, everything's pretty even right now. Let's go ahead and look at the unit tab. And the income, yeah. Everybody's pretty much neck and neck right now. So it's going to be the small things that are going to set these two guys apart right now in their builds. So, you know, whether you get an extractor before the pool so that you can get an early speedlings or small things like that. And we do see Abver coming in here with his drone, so he does know that Dimaga is over here. And likewise, Dimaga knows that Abver is over here, and he's actually coming out here doing something really good with his drone. He's going to deny Abver any sort of early hatchery, which you just saw right there. He did deny it. And we see the same thing going on over here. Abver is patrolling his guy over there, so interesting to see who is going to be able to keep their enemy's hatchery away the longest. So let's go ahead and look at that. Oh, and Dimaga actually does get his down first, and Dimaga does actually make a mistake, and not a mistake, but he just actually leaves it over here, allowing Abver to get that hatchery. So both of them getting their hatcheries relatively quickly. It's not going to make that big of a difference in the short game. In the long game, of course, it can snowball, and we have the Overlord kind of hanging out there, just butting along. And another one coming over here to say, hey, what's up? So now we're seeing them going to be building up their hatcheries, and whether or not they choose to populate their first expansion is going to be interesting to see, because we do see the spawning pools coming down and, of course, making those choices. And we do have the drone coming over here trying to kill this other drone, but, of course, two of them come up and decide to attack him and chase him off, because it would be sure death right there if he continued to attack. But he's actually going to continue to harass, running in there and actually getting surrounded, and he does actually make it out of there. So that drone is one lucky dude. And we have another Overlord coming over back up, well, really for emotional support. And the two Overlords getting to know each other oh so well. And the drone is actually pretty brave. He only has 10 HP left, and we do actually see drone transfer coming over here to the hatchery, timing it just right. And Abver does a good job of keeping a good level of saturation on the mineral line here. And Dimaga has his hatchery up, but has not transferred yet. I do not know. Let's see. Go ahead and look at the income tab right here. The drone count is really even right now. The only difference we're seeing right now in between Dimaga and Abver is that Dimaga has a higher gas income right now, even though Abver did have a two drone advantage, but he did build a roach warren. So we're not going to see banelings from Abver. We're going to see roaches. So those roaches are going to be so good going against any sort of banelings, which is exactly what Dimaga is going for. And Dimaga is actually bringing up Zergling speed with the baneling nest. So he's going for the pretty similar build to what he had last game, expecting Abver to be aggressive as he was beforehand. And we do see this queen coming out here, being supported by her Zerglings, trying to knock down this Overlord now. She is just barely faster than this Overlord. Overlord's trying to get away, and these Zerglings are going to come to the Overlord's rescue. Oh, 1 HP. Is she going to get it? No, she turns around, and she is not actually able to kill that Overlord. So this queen is trying to run away, get back to the creep. Are these Zerglings going to be able to kill her? I believe they're going to be able to get this around and are able to kill her. And are they going to? Yes, they are actually able to knock her down. Of course, the Spinecrawler is killing a Zergling per hit, so it is tallying up the kills up to 6. The Zerglings do not have speed. They will have speed here in just a matter of 3 seconds. So these Zerglings are going to try to harass Abver's main base and come into this mineral line. They do manage to get one drone, and now they just hit the NOS and blew those roaches away. That Zergling got real brave and got stomped. And these Zerglings are going to try to come in here and kill one more. Will they get one more? Oh, yes, they do get one more. And they run away. Abver doing a good job of using his roaches and actually having them hold position. Anyway, we actually do have more Zerglings coming there. Are they going to be able to kill this Spine Crawler? Are they going to be able to kill the Queen? Yes, I do believe so. They have a full surround coming here. This Roach does not attack until just then. You just saw him own that guy. That Queen does go down, and we are going to see the Spine Crawler go down. But Abver not moving his roaches off the ramp until now. I don't know if that was a great idea. He was holding position right there. And are they... Oh, these Zerglings are able to scoot past those drones... They are able to scoot past the roaches and are going to be able to get inside this mineral line, but the drones turn on them and are able to kill off all those Zerglings with the help of the Queen. So Abver not losing too many drones there, but still Dimaga doing a really good job of keeping Abver on his toes and keeping him wrong-footed, which is really key with this Zerg v Zerg. We have the Queen trying to come out here, but of course the roaches are blocking her, and we have these Zerglings hanging out here, chilling around next to the Zelnaga Tower. So now we're going to see if Dimaga continues to try to go with this Zergling, which I do not believe he will. In fact, we do see a Spire coming up here. So he's going to shift to air because these Zerglings really aren't going to have much effect on these roaches. These roaches just being so robust with their HP. And if you get any sort of upgrades with them, they just eat Zerglings. We saw another Zergling fall to the spit attack of the roaches. So it's going to be interesting to see if Abver actually hits Dimaga before he has any Mutalisk stuff, because Dimaga really doesn't have anything in the way of defenses. And let's go ahead and look at the income. Dimaga is actually fallen behind slightly with the mineral income, although he is above in gas, which is so important for these Mutalisks. Those Mutalisks are so heavy when it comes to gas expense. So we do have these Zerglings coming over here and killing these rocks for the high yield expansion. Of course, this Overlord is lumbering over there and is going to be able to see this. So I don't know if Abver is actually going to try to come out there and block and leaving his ramp open. Of course, if he does so, of course we have the Queen spitting her juices all over that hive, making sure that there are plenty of larvae. Abver is actually creating a overseer, which is always a good thing to have. And Dimaga actually bring his Overseer over here into the main base and is trying to scout out. This Queen is not happy about this. I do not believe that Queen is actually going to be able to knock him down. And we actually see a Changeling running around over here. This Changeling is scoping out, trying to see what's going on, but he cannot get past all these roaches. These roaches actually surround the Changeling and knock it down because Abver knows that he does not have any Zerglings on the field. So good eye by Abver, knowing that suspicious-looking Zergling running around. And we see Reconstitution being research for for roaches. Dear Lord, brain decided to take a holiday there. So we still have the Zerglings posting out there, and we do have the hatchery coming down for the high yield. So Dimaga's economy is going to be booming here in just a second. We do actually see the attack for the air units coming out, so that is going to make these mutas all that more powerful. And let's go ahead and look at the unit tab here. And Dimaga really doesn't have that much in the way of a army. Of course, that being said, Abver really doesn't have that big of an army either. He only has 11 roaches, which of course will be more than enough to handle these 25 Zerglings, especially if Abver stays in the positioning that he is, not allowing for that crucial Zergling surround. And we have another Changeling hanging out here. This time, Abver not seeing that. We have all the Overlords basically coming and hanging out at the hatchery, so I guess the hatchery is the cool kid place to be. And I do believe Abver saw these Mutalisks coming around, so he is going to pull in his Overlords, which is a great call, because these Overlords would fall prey to Mutalisks all day long, especially if you leave them outlying as scouts. So these Mutalisks now are deploying on the field, and we'll see how Abver chooses to counter this. He could Spore Crawlers, he could go Mutalisks himself, Corruptors later on. Or he's actually bringing Infestors out. And the Infestors plus Queens, which the Queens are really good at taking down air units, especially only for 150 minerals. They do get the ability to transfuse, which of course heals themselves. And these Mutalisks sitting there taking the pain from that Queen. These roaches coming back to base after they killed the destructible rocks up here for Abver's high yield expansion. Excuse me. Wow, those taquitos really didn't... They're not sitting too well. So anyway, we see fungal growth going down on the Overseer. Great use of that, blocking that Overseer in place. You see the Overseer bringing down the Changeling just in case it died. One last little thing to do. And the Queen. The Overseers are actually following the Queen. So I guess wherever the Queen goes, they feel safe. All huddling up there for the warmth of their mother. We do see several infestors on the field now. And let's go and see. Look, he actually don't. Do we have any upgrades for Abver? No, I do not believe we have any upgrades. But we do have one just completed, so that is actually incorrect. We do have one attack 4 ranged unit from Abver. And we see these Zerglings come out here and will die in a blaze of glory. And we see this one Mutalisk coming out here, go ahead and try to pick off this infestor. They do drop down 2 eggs, however, and we're going to see these infested Terran pop out here. And these infested Terran are going to just murder this Mutalisk. These 2 infested Terran just, well, tearing it apart. And that is crazy. That is pretty overpowered. And we do see the Roaches coming in here trying to knock out this base. They are going to try to snipe it while taking fire from the Mutalisk. These infested Terran are lumbering up, trying to take out these Mutalisks, keeping the Roaches safe. The Roaches that are wounded are actually burrowing down there to take the fire. Oh, wow, we actually see some bainlings coming here and knocking out these infestors. However, the Roaches are still here. They are able to take down the hatchery, and we do have more infestors still in the ground. We do see an Overseer coming out so that Dimaga can actually see those infestors while buried and be able to take them down. We do see that Queen running away with only 23 HP. We see the Roaches coming here trying to knock out Dimaga's resources here. Not going to try to snipe the base. There just aren't enough of them to take down that base in time. So these drones are going to die, and all of the Roaches die in the process. We do see 2 Spine Crawlers coming down a little bit too late to really be of much use. We have a lone brave Zergling here trying to take down this hatchery, keeping Abver from expanding. We see more buddies showing up here, and we do see the Roaches coming up here, killing one. Oh, man, these Roaches are going to be able to kill these Zerglings. I do believe before the hatchery goes down, this hatchery is really hurting, though. Maybe the Zerglings... No, the Zerglings do not actually get it. But the Mutalisks show up and finish what these Zerglings couldn't. And they're going to try to kill the Roaches that are still hanging around here. And now we do have the infestors lumbering around in here. 2 above ground, 2 below ground. And of course, I don't know about y'all, but those ones that are below ground, they look like sharks. Land sharks with the little fins hanging out there. And the Queens are going to come up here and attack this Overseer, which is not feeling too great. Now, these Mutalisks are actually over here killing this expansion, so Abver really having a hard time controlling the map right now, keeping these Mutalisks in check due to the fact that his force is so slow. These infestors are able to move pretty much unchecked while buried, but these Queens, without any sort of carpet out here, just really cannot move, and that constitutes about half of Abver's anti-air right now. And of course, we do have another changeling going down. Abver definitely has that number and is not allowing those changelings to go unchecked. Now, we do have the Mutalisks coming in here to the main base, and it looks like they are going to try to snipe all these Overlords. And yes, they come back after they see the Spore Problem, and they are going to snipe all of these Overlords. We see 2 Overlords going down, another Overlord going down. We're going to see another one go down. Yes, we're going to see another one go down. And that last one, yes. Wow, Abver is actually supply locked right now. Great move by Dimaga, just basically able to utilize the Mutalisk's great mobility and hit where Abver isn't, because right now this is a pretty impressive anti-air force. Of course, these Roaches really aren't adding to any of that, but these Queens able to heal themselves and heal the other infestors, and of course these infestors able to spawn those infested Terran, which are just so strong, as you saw earlier.